Well, good morning, everyone. How's everybody today? Well, it's my pleasure to welcome you to this session of Automotive Hospitality. My name is William Parris. I have over 25 years of hospitality industry experience. I've worked for small independent hotels as well as what we call the big brands. I have been the regional director of sales for the Northeast for a company that represents over 500 upscale hotels worldwide. And I've also opened 5 hotels here in the New York City tri-state area. So my background in hospitality might seem a little unusual talking to a group of automotive dealer professionals. Well, that's because this particular initiative is unusual for the automotive industry. The focus of my background the focus of my background and experience is hospitality, improving the customer experience in the companies that I work with. So now the question becomes, where do you fit in this picture of hospitality? Well, in fact, you play a critical point of client contact, and in every contact you have with a client, you represent the manufacturer and you also represent the brand. This hospitality training program is going to focus on your role and the impact that you can have substantially on the story a client will tell about our brand. And of course, what that will mean to repeat business for your dealership. Can you understand that? Because realistically, the success of any company isn't on that one-time deal. It's really about people coming back. The success of our company, the success of your dealership is really based on repeat business. So this training is going to focus on delivering luxury hospitality. Okay? Luxury hospitality experiences to your customers. But both of those words, luxury, hospitality, they can mean different things to different people. They're a matter of personal preference, but they do have some common elements. So how would you describe luxury? What does it mean to you? What does that feel like? Luxury, okay? How does that feel? What about you, sir? What's your name? Robert? Ah, okay. Top of the line services or products. That's a good answer. I like that. Okay, so how would you describe hospitality? What does hospitality feel like? You, sir, what's your name? Glenn? Glenn, how would you describe luxury? I'm sorry, hospitality. Oh, I like that. Warm and welcoming. All right. Personalized service. Very, very good. So the common elements all lead to the same theme. Luxury hospitality is about being taken care of, being valued. That's an important word. That's value, okay? Feeling valued and being appreciated. So how do you make that happen for your dealership customers? We think that you build. In other words, you work toward luxury hospitality by focusing on 3 levels of service in the client experience. Keep in mind that besides the tangible product that a client is purchasing, they're also purchasing the experience. And that experience begins from the time that they walk into the dealership to the time that they're greeted, even beyond the point that they drive that vehicle out of the showroom. All of that is part of a luxury experience, and that is what customers are looking for. That's what they're paying for. So you're going to hear a lot more about this later, but for now, let's do a quick overview. All right? So throughout this experience, you're going to hear routinely words like expected, appreciated, distinguished. Let's say that again. Expected, appreciated, and distinguished. Okay? These are the 3 levels of client experiences to keep in mind as we push to define and provide a new dealership experience. So here's the goal, all right? So the goal is it's achieving the distinguished level that you set and your dealership, that sets your dealership apart from the others. Okay, how are we going to see ourselves different? How are we going to set ourselves apart? It's because we are going to distinguish ourselves as that step above. Okay, and then expected. What is expected? Okay, well, you know what? It's exactly what you think. It's the givens, it's the basics that clients just expect. For example, when a customer enters a dealership, did they get what they expected? If they get greeted promptly, someone walks up to them, they shake their hand, good morning, how are you, how can I help you? Well, in any dealership or any business for that matter, that would be expected. It would be a little sad to walk into any business and people ignore you. So that's what we mean by expected. And what are some of the things that they would expect when they walk into your dealership? Yes. Craig? Hi Craig, how are you? So what can people expect when they walk into your dealership? Oh, they're going to be greeted like within 2 minutes? Okay, all right. So in other words, there's a time frame. You put you say like within the first 2 minutes, someone walks in, someone approaches them right away. That's what they can expect when they walk into your dealership. Okay, very good. So to reach distinguished, that's the expected levels of higher service, okay? And that needs to be consistently in place. You know, when you work for a luxury business, a dealership, that the consistency has to be part of your getting dressed in the morning. You can't really have a good day or bad day. You kind of have to leave that at the door because to reach distinguished, the expected levels of higher service need to be consistently in place. That's every single day. So the next level that we're talking about is being appreciated. Okay, I don't know about anybody else, but I want to feel appreciated just in life in general. I just want to feel that I matter. And when someone walks into a dealership, that's what they're looking for, as you might expect, the service that is a step above what's expected. Service that's appreciated gives a customer reason to what? Pause. Okay, just stop a second. I call that the wow factor. That's a wow factor. It's like, wow, I didn't expect that. That was a little bit over the top in a good way. So when a customer walks into your dealership, think of what could happen that would stand out as feeling appreciated. Okay. So maybe the customer shows up for a delivery and the sales consultant is ready to meet them on time. That's important. Timeliness. All right. And meet them at the door. So in other words, you were expected. You're so important that, we were supposed to meet at 9 a.m. At 9 a.m., I'm anticipating your arrival. I'm ready for you to show up. And when I show up, I've got your coffee available because I remember that when you and I spoke the first time and we were discussing this vehicle, you were drinking coffee and you mentioned that that's how you start your day. So I'm going to not just have your coffee ready, but I'm going to have your special coffee ready. So if you like espresso instead of a regular cup of coffee, there you go, because I'm paying attention. So the new car, and then of course the new car delivery has to go smoothly. All right. So being appreciated is more about nice to have. It's nice to have that. That's a good thing. Not over the top, but it's nice to have. And these are the luxury touches that any client might be pleased about. This is where you go beyond the basics. Okay, beyond the basics that are pretty much required, and you deliver some unexpected touches that anyone would really like. Instead of the coffee, simple regular coffee as an example, as I mentioned earlier, you might want to consider espresso or just something that takes it just a little bit beyond what would be just the regular or what the guys down the block are offering, because everybody might offer coffee, but everyone may not be offering espresso, all right, or something more, or an assortment of juices, that people might prefer. All right. So what if the customer walked in and for their delivery, and the customer was greeted by name? In the hospitality industry, referring to a guest that comes in and out of a hotel by the name is very important. And I've traveled a lot on business, and I could not be more impressed and really surprised when the staff knows. I just feel like they know me. This is my second time staying here, and when I walk into the hotel, they're saying, "Welcome back, Mr. Parris." Let me tell you, when that happens, I feel special. I feel like I'm welcome. I feel I have that sense of hospitality, and I feel appreciated. So now let's think about words like amazing, okay, and outcomes like memorable. Let me tell you an experience I had. I travel frequently, and I was in LA one time, and I was staying at a hotel called the Westwood Marquis. And one evening after I had done all of my sales calls, I parked the car a little bit further away from the entrance. I didn't valet park it because I was going to go out on the town. But when I got to my suite, I got tired. You know, I was like, I don't really want to go out. Well, later on that evening, the phone rings to the suite, and it was the Bell staff. And they were calling me because they said, "Mr. Parris, we noticed that you left your car down the block at the corner. Well, we figured that you decided perhaps you're not going to go out. Would you like us to send someone up to get the keys to valet park your car?" What? I was shocked. And it was perfect because the truth was I was tired. And then if I was going to valet park the car, I had to get up, get dressed, go back down to the desk or whatever. But they anticipated what my needs were, and they met me and went beyond what my basic expectations were. I can tell you that every single time I went back to LA, I would not even consider staying at any other hotel besides the Westwood Marquis. Of course, it has since become a W, so there that goes. But nevertheless, I think you get my point. So what are we talking about? We're talking about here are the words that are key. We're talking personalized luxury, experiences that distinguish a brand. A personalized experience that distinguishes isn't a series of what we call structured moments. Think about how you want to feel. I gave you the story about my experience at the Westwood Marquis. I like the way that feels. And we want our customers in a luxury dealership to have that kind of feeling. So when you think in terms of personalized service, think about how you want to feel. So to compete in the luxury market, and to be successful with this kind of client, the experience in our dealerships, they have to be distinguished, okay? They have to be in this distinguished circle, in the center of this bullseye. Okay, right? We've got to get it. We've got to hit it home every time. We've got to hit it out the park. There's always got to be that wow moment, that wow factor that makes a person feel as if they can't even imagine going anyplace else because the service is wow. The service is distinguished. The experience is personal. It's something that they want to talk about. All right? You'll only have one chance to show a customer that the experience at your dealership matches the level of the vehicle that they want to buy. You might just have one chance to show them that the experience isn't just a marketing spin. It isn't something that you put on paper, but it's something that a person feels when they walk into your dealership. So this hospitality training will give you new ways of looking at the customer experience in your dealership and using all of your five senses, okay, in new ways to make a distinguished experience for your customers. You're going to make them feel special. You're going to learn you're going to learn to be sensitive. You're going to learn to listen to what the client is saying. One more example is that I had a client who was expecting a baby. And I went to see the client sometime later after his son was born, and I brought him a teddy bear. Well, that client has actually been my client, believe it or not, for decades. And why? Every time I see him, he can't stop reminding me that I brought his son, who is now a big kid, big guy, I think he's over 20 now, but he constantly reminds me that I was the first person that bought his son a teddy bear. And truthfully, that teddy bear didn't cost me a whole lot of money, and I certainly didn't expense it. It was just something that I wanted to do for that particular client. As a result, that client has been my client for over 20 years. And he appreciated that, and you know what? He remembered it. And that's what we're talking about, a memorable experience. So I'm looking forward to showing you these things. It's going to be fun, but it's also going to be a little bit challenging. But I can definitely say this, that this dealership and our brand, we're going to take it to a new level, and we're all going to enjoy the ride. So let's get going on to our next topic. You ready? Let's make it happen.